La 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 la. Welcome everybody to our rally. Buckle up because in 5 minutes we will get started on this great journey. We'll see ya in 5 minutes. Welcome back to you all. See you soon.
שונים במועד שנת השמיטה בחג הסוכות מקץ 7 שונים במועד שנת השמיטה בחג הסוכות בבוי כל ישראל ברבויס את בני השם במקום אשר יבחור בבוי כל ישראל ברבויס את בני השם במקום אשר יבחור הקהל 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 הסום אנושים והטף הקהל 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 הסום אנושים והטף למען ישמעו למען ילמדו ויורו את השם אלוהיכם ושומרו לעשות את כל דברי התורה הזאת ויכל ישראל לרבויס את בני השם במקום אשר יבחור ויכל ישראל לרבויס את בני השם במקום אשר יבחור הקהל 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 הסום אנושים והטף הקהל 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 הסום אנושים והטף למען ישמעו למען ילמדו ויורו את השם אלוהיכם ושומרו לעשות את כל דברי התורה הזאת ושומרו לעשות את כל דברי התורה הזאת
Hakhel from Geulah'dik
קייס שבע שונים במועד שנת השמיטה בחג הסוכות מקייס שבע שונים במועד שנת השמיטה בחג הסוכות לבוי כל ישראל ברבויס את בני השם במוקוי אשר יבחור בבוי כל ישראל ברבויס את בני השם במוקוי אשר יבחור Hakhel, Hakhel, Hakhel Esom Oh, Anoshim, Anoshim Behaka Hakhel, Hakhel, Hakhel Esom Oh, Anoshim, Anoshim Behaka
I think that song has definitely become my favorite. I'm really enjoying this year of Hakhel just from all the new songs that our music artists are putting out for Hakhel. L'chaim v'livracha, it's great to be back for another Tut Alts rally with all of you guys. But before we begin, I have something very important to tell you. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam shehakol nihiyah b'dvari. Thank you. Welcome everybody to this beautiful Hakhel rally. I don't know how many we have left, but I gotta tell you, just from being on these rallies with you, the amount of mindfulness that this is, and koch, and lebedekai, this is giving in the avodah of bringing Mashiach and living with Mashiach is unbelievable. And I'm sure that you guys feel the same. You guys all know you can win great prizes from being here. The ultimate prize, of course, is being more in a position and ready to bring Mashiach. But we give you some prizes too that you can win from joining. All you got to do is take a photo, a selfie, a somebody elsey, which means somebody elsey takes a photo of you, and send us that photo to schools@tutalts.com. Send us that phone number. Tell us how many people are in that photo. Tell us what school you're from and how many you are. As a matter of fact, you don't need to be a school. Families, you can watch this too, and you can win the prize. Yeah, that's right. The Heiningstold family all the way from Manchester, UK. I don't know if I got that accent right. They are the winners of last Hakhel event, and they won these great Tut Alt bags. And for this rally, you can be the lucky winner of a Tut Alts purse. Those are great things. Purses are not only things that women walk around with, they are things that boys can walk around with to keep their coins for tzedakah, keep their Geulach and other great stuff. So take a photo and send it to us, and everybody who is in that photo watching that rally will win one of these prizes. Wow, I think today is my favorite theme. It's a golden theme. It's actually about gold. Before we begin, and to help us appreciate this theme, let's do a little journey here together. I want you to pay attention to the screen, where we're going to analyze some images, some things in the world that appear to be boring, dirty, useless. And when you look at these photos, I want you to guess what thing useful do these things create. Okay, so let's look at the screen now, and we're going to see the first slide. We see a beautiful photo, almost like the Grand Canyon of sorts. It looks like a canyon out in Utah or Arizona of sorts. It just looks like a massive canyon, a massive hole in the middle of the desert. What is going on there? Well, would you believe that this is actually a gold mine? In that schmutz, ladies and gentlemen, in that schmutz, they dig deep. It's actually quite dangerous. You got to dig deep in the ground. That is a gold mine. Yeah, that's a gold mine. Look at this next photo here. When I first saw this photo, I thought, oh, that's asparagus, or that's like string beans. Who knows what that is? Something actually very, very yummy comes from this. This is sugar cane. Tell me you have not eaten sugar before. I don't believe you. We've all eaten sugar. My 2-year-old son eats sugar. Sugar comes from that sugar cane. Yeah, this little branch off a tree produces something so sweet and yummy. Do you see where we're trying to to demonstrate here, don't really know when looking at something at face value what it can really produce. Look at this, for example. This is my eye. Now I'm joking. This is a tree trunk. A tree trunk. Sounds a little boring, eh? Yet, without that tree trunk, I wouldn't have a sitter. That's right. Paper, pages are made from trees. Next time you're going on a hike or you're going through the forest, think about that. All right, what do you think this is? Looks like some stalks of something. You know what that is? That's actually linen. Yeah, you know the stuff you put on your Shabbos table, like a tablecloth, a linen tablecloth, or are you wearing a shirt right now, hopefully? Yeah, go back to the previous slide for a second. It comes from that. From that. Unbelievable. Oh, wow, Hashem made such an interesting world. Who would have ever thunk? All right, let's go to the next slide. I'm sure you won't guess this one. You're walking on the beach and you're collecting sand. Before you throw that sand away, there are some beautiful things that you can do with that sand if you're well trained. Look at the next slide. You know what I'm talking about. Yeah, glass. Glass is made from sand. If you've been to a glass blowing factory, you'll know what I'm talking about. Let's go to the next slide. Yeah, it looks like a rock right from your backyard or something. Would you believe that that's actually a diamond rock? Yeah, that's a diamond rock, my friends. Do you know how much that diamond rock, if you see a rock next time and you're a little bit, that looks different than other rocks, don't throw that away. That might be a diamond rock, which is perhaps the most expensive gem, one of the hardest materials actually in the world, a diamond. You can only cut a diamond with another diamond. And let's go to the final slide. This is the most fascinating for me. What's that? This looks like dates. I don't know what that looks like. Pistachios. That's actually a cocoa bean. A cocoa bean. You know what cocoa beans make? Chocolate. They make chocolate. My friends, all of these slides teach us something very, very important. When you look at something at face value, you might not see what it really is capable of. When you're looking at sand, you might want to just wash it off your feet. When you're looking at a rock, you'll be like, hey, let's just, skip some rocks. You could be throwing out a diamond. You could be throwing out a cocoa bean, Rahman al-Islam. Let me tell you, by Matan Torah, Hashem, to every single Jew, he chose every single Jew and made them gold. When you look at a Jew, you might look at him, just a bunch of dirt, schmutz, plants, rocks. What you're really looking at, what you have to have a keen eye for, is that you're looking at gold. Every single Jew is golden. One of my favorite lines as a shliach that I tell people is, when I meet a Jew and I ask him if he wants to put on tefillin, he tells me I'm not religious. I say, religious? You're as Jewish as Moses. Hashem chose you and gave you the Torah. So every single person is royalty. Every single person has immense potential. Just how you have to look at him. Before we move on with the program, one of my favorite stories of all time is when Mr. George Rohr came by the Rebbe. Mr. George Rohr was a member at a shul in Manhattan, and at his shul, he thought of a good idea. Let's make a beginner's service. The rabbi in the main sanctuary, the services are ran in Hebrew, traditionally in Hebrew, and for the people that don't know much about the behavior and how to read Hebrew, let's make another minyan where Jews can feel more comfortable. And he came to the Rebbe to report that at his first time on Rosh Hashanah Kippur, they had quite a large crowd. He worded it like this: Rebbe, I made a minyan a special minyan for Jews with no background, and there was a big crowd. And he says that as soon as he said those words, his face went almost like the smile wiped off his face, and he realized he said something terribly wrong. I didn't know what he said wrong. I thought he wanted to give the Rebbe nachas, until the Rebbe told him, go and tell those Jews with no background that they have a royal background, that they are children of Avram, Yitzchak, and Yaakov, Sarah, Rivka, Rachel, and Leah. Who are we to say about another person that they are far? We have to makariv them closer to Yiddishkeit. They are as Jewish as Moses. On this note of seeing every person and looking at, before you throw them away and say, it's just a sour, bitter cocoa bean. This is really chocolate and yummy chocolate. I want to bring on the camera some very special guest. This individual is a chocolate maker, Mr. Rabbi Levi Raskin, who would please demonstrate to us what we can do from these unique cocoa beans. Shalom Aleichem, Levi.
Aleichem Shalom. Can you hear and see me?
Loud and clear.
Great, fantastic. Okay. So where do we begin, right? So let me just begin let me begin here, friends. So when the Mashiach Havas reached out to me, so the woman who reached out to me, she said something really interesting that I never thought of before. She said, hey, something that looks a little off, but could be so good. And I was like, wow, that hit the nail on its head, because as we just heard, okay, the beans on their own, they're so bitter. I'm gonna come a little closer so you can see. I gotta tell you, I had my phone stand and somehow it got lost.
Can I
there,
have
okay?
One?
Sure, catch right there. Okay, so just getting it back in place over here. So the beans on their own are actually really, really bitter. And what I'd like to share with you over here today is how we make the chocolate. We only have about 8.5 minutes, which is normally a 90-minute program. So we're gonna go fast-paced express, and we're gonna do this right here, right now. So
double speed.
Double speed, exactly. But I'm gonna speak regular speed, even though
we can't have you speaking too fast. You're gonna lose us.
Fantastic. Okay, great. So where do the beans grow? They grow on the tree. Now, normally I have the remote in my hand. I can change it back on my phone, but we're going to skip that for today. So they grow in the rainforest in warm climates. Cacao trees, cocoa trees are called. Twice a year they ripen. They use machetes to cut the pods off the tree. Again, let me just see if I have my other remote as I'm speaking with you. Okay, you don't lose any time. So twice. Did
I plant one in my backyard?
So you could try, but I don't think the results are going to be too great, right?
My son
what was that?
Yeah, go ahead.
Right. So I missed it. So regardless, so using a machete to cut the pods off. The pods are pretty big. They're like the size of a hair. To be honest, I purchased a few pods a few months ago. They're really expensive. They're like $15 a pod. And then 2 weeks later, they went totally moldy. It's like, forget about that. There's like 40 to 60 seeds inside the pods, and they're white, a really stark white color. So what happens is they take the beans and they lay them out on the ground. And then under the exposure of the sun, remember these are very warm climates for warm countries. Under the exposure of the sun, they, over a period of about 45 days, they turn from white to a dark brown. Okay, and throughout those 45 days, they're constantly flipping the beans. And then what happens is many of these countries are like not fully developed countries, third world countries, as we like to call them. And they don't really have the equipment to take it to the next stage. So what happens is they take the beans right over here, you hear the beans, right? And then they ship the beans to all over the world, different countries, Western countries, and there's quite a few steps involved. And so right over here, this is the oven. It's a regular small oven, and so the first thing is we roast the beans. And we roast the beans for about 20 minutes or 18 minutes to be precise, at about 315 degrees Fahrenheit. Okay. Then what happens is these beans have already been roasted. Once they're roasted, we take them out, and like you mentioned before about an almond, it actually looks like an almond. And then all you have to do is you just give a little twist, and the shell, I'm coming a little close to the camera, the shell comes right off. It's called the husk, okay? The husk comes right off right over here. Okay, so I'm gonna do it in front of you so you can see.
A bit lower, your hands a bit lower.
There we go, there we go. Okay,
Oh,
so
yeah, I
give
see
a
what you're
little,
talking about.
And over here, this is a nib right over here. Okay, that's the nib right there. I'm a little closer so you can actually see. Here's the rest of it here, making a big mess, but no one's around, right? So who cares? Here we go. As you can see, that over here is those are the
That's
nibs.
chocolate?
So this is a very, very first form of the chocolate right there. Now here's what happens next. So really what you want to do is this is called the winnowing process. What you want to do is you want to take those nibs and then grind them. Now it's interesting because let's say if you take coffee beans, right? You put them in a regular coffee grinder, boom, 1, 2, 3, it grinds them, makes it dry, it's all good. However, if you take cocoa beans and you put them inside a regular grinder, it actually clogs up the machine really quickly. So we have over here a special grinder. This is a professional grinder. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn the machine on. I'm going to show you. Okay, I'm going to show you. I have to remove the phone for a second. How we're going to go from the nib. It's literally going to turn into chocolate. Okay,
Amazing.
so let me turn the machine on. Can you see? Can you see this part right over here when I'm touching? Great, fantastic, great. So I'm going to turn the machine on, and I actually warmed it up beforehand. Hopefully, it's still going to do its job. Here goes. It's going to be a little loud, okay? Over here I have a bunch of nibs that have already been crushed. Here they are. And I'm going to turn the machine on and put them inside. Here goes.
I think you have noise canceling headphones because we don't even hear the machine.
Look at that. Now, very soon, out from here. Okay, give it just a second. Okay, want to make sure that we don't. It takes about a few. Oh, there we go.
Oh my gosh!
There you go. We are literally making chocolate as we're speaking. Look at that, guys.
Wait, let me ask you.
Yeah.
That's how does it get liquidy? Is there water in there?
There isn't a single bit of water. This is
It's
pure
unbelievable.
chocolate. Correct. But here is where. Okay, I'm going to see a little bit more here, and that's it for now. Okay. There we go. Fantastic.
Yum.
Yeah. Turn the machine off. Okay.
Wait.
Now.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Here you go. Here's the chocolate. We actually have two. It has two different areas where it comes out from. So you have quite a bit of chocolate right over here. Now, here's the thing, and this is why I wanted to circle back what we mentioned before. So chocolate on its own is really bitter. It's like some people say, oh yeah, I like chocolate. I like the raw chocolate. Yeah, right. It's really, really bitter. Even the chocolate that you think is really bitter has quite a bit of sugar. Like, for example, and here's what I want to share with you. So we always add sugar into chocolate. Most chocolates have about almost 50% sugar, and milk chocolate, forget about it. But even dark chocolate has almost 50% sugar. And then there's something called cocoa butter. Cocoa butter.
Pause for a moment. If I were to drink that liquid that you just made, that would be bitter.
Very, very bitter. I mean,
we don't love chocolate.
Edible.
We don't love chocolate. We love sugar, and we love the sugar in chocolate.
Exactly. This is why when you hear the adults saying, "Oh, it's so full of sugar," or you don't want to, they're kind of right because there's so much sugar in there. But here's what I want to share with you, though. There many people don't know, don't realize. So these over here, okay, these over here are called cocoa butter. Okay. Now the cocoa butter, I'll come a little closer. The cocoa butter that I'm showing you is not butter the way you know it.
Looks like garlic.
Yeah. So it's actually made from the nibs itself. It's white, okay, and what's so cool is that it's totally pure. It's dairy. It's organic, right? And chocolate has about 10% of the cocoa butter, which is made from the fats of what just came out of here. This is called the very first phase of making the chocolate, and the cocoa butter is actually made from the fats of this first initial stage. I don't have the machine. There's a special machine that does it. It's on my bucket list. One day I'll get it. And it's about 10% in chocolate, generally about 30-40% sugar. So yeah, so let's do the math to kind of bring you to summarize. There's about 55% chocolate or cocoa beans, right? Of the bean we just did over here. It's about 30% of sugar, another 10% 10% cocoa butter, or maybe 35% sugar. And with that, you have your chocolate. And this is why the real chocolatiers tell you, oh, milk chocolate is fake chocolate, and all the other chocolate, that's not the real chocolate, because yeah, it's a half and half. But of course, and I gotta say to myself, even though we make the chocolate and we have different programs, and we actually teach kosher through this program, I prefer milk chocolate, and of course, the sweeter the better, right?
Levi, to bring it home here, because really we'd love to have you on for the whole process for your, maybe next time we'll do a whole 90-minute session. But what, after you got that, what's that oven for? Is that where you toasted those beans for in?
So correct. So the beans you're seeing here, they've already been roasted. Okay. Now, but I do want to say this before I do go off. There's one very, very last important stage when it comes to making chocolate, and that is called tempering the chocolate. Tempering the chocolate is really critical, and the shine that chocolate has and the snap that it has, that's a result of tempering. The tempering, like its name, is the temperature of chocolate. And what it does is you have to bring down the temperature. So for example, with dark chocolate, we want to make sure it's about 90 degrees. Okay. And milk chocolate is about even lower, 85 degrees. If you think about it, 90 degrees or 89 degrees to be precise is very, very cool. In fact, when you touch the chocolate, it almost feels cool. But you have to have, when you're working with a chocolate and you want to make those pretty designs, over here we make different, all different Jewish symbols, etc. We make false challahs and wine bottles and all that stuff. It has to be tempered, and that's the last stage. Wow. So that's that in a nutshell.
Maybe
there you have it right there.
In a cocoa bean shell. I mean, what's most fascinated about this whole thing is you take a cocoa bean, it's not like an olive where if you squeeze it, we'll get some liquid. Correct. It's pretty dry, right?
Correct. Yes, that is correct. I'm with you. That is something that's
always fascinating that when you just crush that, all of a sudden you get this gooey yumminess.
And I didn't show you. But in fact, every time we take that chocolate and we put it back inside, it refines it more and more. And the time we're done, it's literally like you see in those pictures, dripping chocolate. That's what it looks like.
Unbelievable. Yeah. Because what you're telling me is, well, back to our theme here is that a Jew, you look at him face value, it might look dry and dirty and chewy and
exactly.
bitter. And then you squeeze it and there's like this yumminess. And then you do it again and it's like even more yummy.
You put it on once and twice, and every mitzvah you do, every time you refine that.
And then you add sugar, forget about it.
Exactly, right.
Thank you, Levi. Levi Raskin, this was great. We'll see you next time. Much hatzlacha in all of your work.
Thank you very much. Hatzlacha, guys. Take care.
Boys and girls, if you enjoyed that, let's give a round of applause for Levi Raskin at the Chocolate Factory, or Anicle of Willy Wonka Lane. And once I have your attention to the screen, keep your attention right there, because this is the most unbelievable thing we're going to show you now. Mashiach now is a song we've been saying and show you Bana Beis Hamikdash, the third Beis Hamikdash. We want to be rebuilt. Have you ever got an image of what the third Beis Hamikdash might look like? We're talking about gold here, and we know that the first material that the Yidden donated to the Beis Hamikdash was gold. That's relevant for later for the questions. So I want to introduce you now to somebody very, very unique who created an unbelievable platform called BeisHamikdash.com, where he has real 3D videos and images of the first, second, and third Beis Hamikdash. You don't have to take my word for it. We'll show it to you right now. Mendel Lewis, please introduce yourself, because we are going to go through some of his very own 3D movies and films that he has made. And he's at the Kaisel himself. Mendel Lewis, Shalom Aleichem, welcome. Huh. So first of all, I checked out your website, unbelievable, BeisHamikdash.com, where we can all just go in and for free see images, 3D images of the Beis Hamikdash and the Har HaBayis, and we should all go ahead and do that. But I want you to show us, please, something unique about the third Beis Hamikdash, because that's something that, wow, that's, I think, going to really blow us all away. And so go ahead, Mendel, please start us off and tell us how you started doing this briefly, and let's get right into it.
I don't know. How did I start getting into it? I learned about it, and I got into it.
Unbelievable. You learn about something, and apparently you are good with computers and good with design, and you said, let's do this. Let's use our chushim, use our talents, and teach the world more about this. So let's get started. Please show us some of your creations. Boys and girls, this is really going to blow you away and give you a real visual. And if you want more of this, go on his website, BeisHamikdash.com, and you'll see some unbelievable stuff there. Take a real virtual tour. I mean, wow! Even just you scrolling down these photos are unbelievable. Look! Some of the teasers you're showing us here already.
Okay, this is the third Beis Hamikdash, just the Beis Hamikdash itself.
This is the third Beis Hamikdash. Okay.
770 next to it.
770 is next to the Beis Hamikdash. Tell us more about that.
All the shuls are going to be connected to the base Mikdash. And the 770 is the Mikdash Ma'at nowadays, so that will be right next to it.
That's right, boys and girls. You just heard him right. Mashiach will come. All of the shuls will be connected to the Beis Hamikdash. And since today, 770, the shul of the Rebbe acts as the mini Beis Hamikdash for Gullah's times, that means when Mashiach will come, 770 will be directly connected to the Beis Hamikdash. That's right. Can we zoom in and see a little more?
This is
What's that big table? This is the Harabayas?
yeah, the Haravayas.
So give
A
us a
little
reference point. Where's the Koisel?
I mean, now the crystal somewhere here.
At the edge.
Over here somewhere. Haravayas going to expand a lot.
How is it going to expand? So right now there's a wall that surrounds this big mountaintop, and that's what the Koisel is, the wall around the mountain, okay? And then we zoom in here on the corner of the mountain, we have the Beis Hamikdash. Wow. All right, let's go inside. Yeah, it's
You have
me.
a gate. They're a little tall.
Where am I now?
Right outside by the main gate.
Okay. How tall is this gate? The reference.
30 Amish.
Okay. How tall am I? How many amas?
3, 4.
3, 4. This is 50 amas. Wow. So even if we do 3 people on my shoulder, we could fit through that gate.
You could probably have 10 people on your shoulder. You'll fit through the gate.
Wow. And this, I imagine, if I can take a guess, this is the Ezras Noshim. This is the big outside where Simchas Beis HaShe'eva dancing takes place, right?
Yeah.
This is big. And what's straight ahead of us?
This is the Azara.
Okay. And now we're inside the Azara?
And I'm going inside. Not inside the Azara.
You have to knock before you get in?
What? No, you don't need a knock. The doors are open usually.
Okay, here we have it, the Mizbeach. Let's zoom out a little bit. I want to see the room as a whole, if we could. Okay, perfect. Okay, so you walk inside, and right ahead of you will be the Mizbeach. Where are the shech the animals? On the floor over there?
Actually, shech them. There is Mikdash to shechting them inside this gate.
Oh, really?
Inside this gate, you have place to shech them.
Wait, is that unique to the third Beis Hamikdash?
Yeah.
Because I always recall learning that the shechita happened in the Azara, but if you tell me the third Beis Hamikdash, that goat is moving.
Technically. But
that goat is alive.
yeah. He doesn't want to wait any longer. He wants to get shechted already.
I was gonna say, if he doesn't trust the shechit.
I don't either. Shechit's been standing there for a while, not doing anything. Oh, and he lost his knife somehow.
Wow. So this is okay. Let's go back to the main room. How much bigger is the third Beis Hamikdash than the first and second?
Well, the Harabayas is 36 times bigger.
Wow. So that means in English is that the Temple Mount, which means the mountain on which the Beis Hamikdash sits, is going to be 30 times bigger than what it was today. 36 times bigger. And the actual Beis Hamikdash?
Around the same size. Zara's around the same size. Not that much bigger.
How do we know? Where do you get your information from?
Yecheskel had a whole nevuah about how it's going to look.
So, wow, interesting. Okay, let's go to the last room because we want to see the Neira and the Kiddush HaKadoshim. I'm feeling like a Kohen Gadol now. Maybe we could get to you think you can allow me into the Kiddush HaKadoshim? Special access for us?
Will be allowed to go in.
Really?
That's what I heard. I don't
Did you hear
remember.
that? Everyone will be allowed. Wait, wow. This is beautiful. Is that made all out of gold?
This is all gold.
Unbelievable. The menorah is a lot smaller than I thought it was.
Not that tall. A little shorter than a
Is that
pencil.
accurate?
Yeah.
error is sure than a person. Uh-huh. But we do know that the Torah requires the Kohen to step up on a platform to light it. It wasn't because he couldn't reach it, but because you have to step on a platform.
Yeah.
Correct. Beautiful. All right, man, let's go to the last of the Kodesh HaKadoshim before we sign off. And I really want to encourage all of you guys to go to his website. And he has dozens and dozens of these images, and you can just scroll around free of charge, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you. Wow. Special for us, eh? This is the Kodesh HaKadoshim. No. Yeah, that's the Aron.
Yeah. It's about him.
Ah. What's that brown thing sticking out?
This thing.
Yeah.
That's the jar of mun.
A jar of mun?
Yeah. There's a jar of mun.
Oh, wow. And what's that stick? What's the stick?
Orange stick that got a bunch of flowers and almonds going on it, so that was also kept there.
Wow. Boys, this is unbelievable. Well, thank you, Mendel. We're gonna have to end this tour for today.
Yeah.
But I think you've gave us a great reason to come back to your website, beisamikdash.com with an O at the end.
Yeah.
And to check out more. Well, thank you very much, because we really do love giving visuals, the things we talk about so much, especially the third Beis Hamikdash, which we dive in for every single day. Let's go on with the program, everybody. Mendel, thank you very much. And mashat slacha in your avoida of educating the world about the Beis Hamikdash. Okay. Boys and girls, it's time to get up on your feet. Time to sing and dance with our Rebbe as we sing a niggin of Ata v'chartanu, which means Hashem, a niggin that sings and joyfully tells over how Hashem chose every single Jew from all the Goyish nations around and made us unique and made us golden. Let's begin this niggin. Again, I encourage you, as always, to get up and sing and dance. Wow, it's been a while since I saw that video. That's a beautiful, beautiful video. Thank you, HQ, for showing that to us. Boys and girls, let's play a little game. This is going to be the culmination of the program today, and for that matter, the culmination of Good and Geulah'dik segment. You should be able to answer all of these questions and put together this puzzle with all the knowledge that you have learned in the segment of Good and Geulah'dik. So here's how we play. There's going to be a question and multiple choice, a question with multiple choice answers on the screen. You have to pick the right answer, and that right answer will be in the image of a puzzle piece. Now, with your new puzzle piece, you need to now figure out where in the puzzle board does that piece go. And all together, the puzzle pieces will form an image, which will be our takeaway message. So let's begin. Here we go. Question number one. Okay. Which pasuk from the Torah instructs us to build the Mishkan? Puzzle piece A, Mimitzrayim Gealtonu Mibesavon Pidisanu. The next one, Vikhu Litruva. Third, Ve'osuli Mikdash V'shochanti B'soicham. Yes, that's exactly right. It's the third puzzle piece of Ve'osuli Mikdash V'shochanti B'soicham. Make for me a Mikdash. Okay, where does this puzzle piece go? 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. That's right. Who got that right? On the bottom left corner. Very good. We have just gotten the first puzzle piece and our first coin. Let's go on to the next question. Here we go. Why did Matan Torah happen before the building of the Mishkan? Okay, read the answers. Read the answers. Is it because first Hashem chose us, gave us the power to then bring his Shekhinah into the world, or because either we're not ready before to donate all they had to the Mishkan, or Moshe Rabbeinu decided? A, B, or C? The answer is Hashem first gave us the Torah and chose us, making us unique to bring his Shekhinah into the world when we build the Mishkan. Beautiful. All right, let's move on to the next question. And who knows where that puzzle piece goes? Very good. Top left. Question 3. Who donated materials for the Mishkan? Only the important men, all men and women, every Yid, all men, all women, and even small children. Something tells me it's that answer. Let's see if you guys can get it. That's right. The answer is number 3. Every Yid, even the children, donated their lollipops. Maybe they sold it in school to get money to donate for the Beis HaMikdash. And let's put that puzzle piece in the correct place. Who likes puzzles here? I do. And let's fit that neatly all the way on the right side of that. Good, there we go. All right, let's go on to the next piece. Which is the correct order of the donations that are listed in the Torah? Well, Torah first tells us they donated diamonds, then gold, then they did silver and copper. Or Torah tells us they first donated gold, silver, copper, and then linen. Or paper, rubber, copper, slime, and gold. What was the right order? Was gold first, diamonds first, or paper first? And the right answer is, that's exactly right. It is the gold. And let's put that puzzle piece in the correct place. Let's see how quickly you can find that. That's an easy one right at the top. Beautiful. We're gathering all the coins we need. Let's go on to the next question. Why did every Yid need to be rich before the Geula? Did you hear that, by the way? We all have to be rich before Mashiach comes. This is because we have enough money to buy a house in Eretz Yisrael. That's definitely true. We're going to build a Fed Beis HaMikdash, and we need a lot of gold. Money to do that. That's also true. And thirdly, we need to hire robots to do all our errands and housework, and we will be able to learn Torah all day. That's also true. But which one is the ultimate truth? Okay? Look at the puzzle pieces, perhaps, and I could give you the hint of what's missing from the puzzle board. The answer is, we're going to build a third base. Mikdash. We need money to do that. So you heard that, guys? Get ready for the wealth. Mashiach is coming soon. We're all going to be very, very wealthy. Let's go on to the next question. What is the definition of the Pintelayid? The Pintelayid. What does a Pintelayid mean? Every Yid has a part of Hashem deep inside that is always connected to him. Pintelayid means a lot of tall Yidden. Most are pint sizes. You know, if that person's a Pintelayid, he's, a shorty. Or a Pintelayid is that we have mitzvahs to deal with every very small things like dipping bread into salt and checking for bugs. So there's Pintele mitzvahs. Pintele. Very detail-oriented mitzvahs. What's the right definition of the Pintelayid? Look at the puzzle piece. And the right answer is, of course, the Pintelayid is the spark of Hashem. That's when every single Jew, right at the center of our puzzle, right in the middle. How appropriate. All right, we have 3 puzzle pieces left. Let's go to the next question. What emotion are we especially focused on at this time of the year? Which of the 12 psukim talks about this? What is the call? What should we be feeling right now since we are close to Mashiach? Freedom to do mitzvahs, and that's the pasuk of B'chol Dor V'Dor. Is it success in Torah learning, which is the pasuk of Yogaiti? Or is it being happy? The Yismach Yisrael Ba'Isav, happy to serve Hashem. What puzzle piece is it, boys and girls? All great answers. But the ultimate one that we should be focusing on is the joy that we have to be Hashem's chosen nation. And that leads us to so much joy to serve Hashem. Yismach Yisrael Ba'Isav. Okay, next question. Seeing the gold in another Yid will cause us to have Avas Yisrael without limit and will help bring Mashiach closer. Where in davening do we say this? Where in davening do we declare how every single Jew is gold and we will have Avas Yisrael with no limit? Is that in Moed Ani? Is that in Hareini Makabel? Or is that in Baruch She'amar? What do you guys know? What do you guys know? Of course, the answer is B. Hareini Makabel Alai Mitzvah Saseh Shel V'Ahavta L'Recha Kamecha, our declaration to love every Yid as we love ourselves, which is unlimited. And last question. When will the quality of gold in every Yid be truly revealed? We know from the story of our chocolate and all the demonstrations we said earlier, every Jew is gold, but sometimes it's hard to realize that. When will the whole world see so clearly the gold that every Yid is? Is that when Mashiach will come? Will that be when we listen to our Rebbe and do everything he wants us to? When all the gold in the earth is found, which would be in a long, long, long time. The answer, of course, is the day we've all been waiting for. We want Mashiach now, because at that time we will see every Jew for his real value. And that leads us to the puzzle, the full puzzle picture, which is a machatzis shekel, a half shekel coin. The relevance of this half shekel coin to our theme: every Yid gives a half shekel coin, every single Jew. Why not a full coin? A half shekel. I don't mean they cut that in half. I mean that's is from a esrim geda shekel, and they give only eser, a 10 shekel esrim eser geda. Every Jew knows deep down that he is only a half, and that every Yid out there is his other half. We all have value. No one is better than the other. We all have a golden part of us waiting to be fully realized, the full potential. Boys and girls, this has been an unbelievable route together. We'll see you next time, and with heartfelt prayers, we ask the Mashiach should come speedily in our days, and we will do everything in our power to live with this message of truly identifying the beauty, the yumminess in every single Jew. Next time we see a Jew, we'll be like, yum, I love chocolate. Chaim.